My name's Dave DeBow, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content. Welcome back, folks. Have you ever had the dream of traveling the world thanks to your real estate investing, be able to have that mailbox money, be able to live a laptop lifestyle, be able to do what you want, where you want, with whom you want? Well, today's special guest, Adrienne Green, is doing exactly that. In fact, she's zooming in from beautiful Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. She's on one leg of a multi-month journey with her family. There's 5 of them traveling around, and they're able to do this thanks to real estate. So we're going to find out today how she's doing that, and specifically how she's leveraging virtual assistants to help make all of this happen. Adrienne, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Dave. It's a pleasure to be here.
So give us a big picture overview of your real estate investing business that's allowing you to do this. So what kind of stuff do you invest in? Where are these properties primarily? Um, what does your portfolio look like as of mid-September 2024?
Sure. So we have 3 short-term rentals in Myrtle Beach, California. That
Nice.
market has done really well for us, and we can dive in those more if you like. And then I have long-term rentals in Chattanooga, Tennessee. We lived there from 2020 until we started traveling earlier in 2024. And so we have several long-term rentals there that we mostly self-manage. We do have one with a property manager. We also have an RV park outside of Chattanooga that is currently on the market. We dallied in a new investment strategy there with RV parks. It wasn't our thing. And then we do lending. So we do hard money lending and private lending as well. And then we'll also invest passively in syndications to diversify without increasing our workload.
Very cool. So the long-term rentals, are those single family homes or multifamily properties?
Great question. All of our properties that we own, both the short-term rentals and the long-term rentals, are all single family homes.
Very cool. Very, very interesting. And what would you say? I mean, everything adds to the pot, that's for sure. But where are you getting the biggest bang for your buck these days? Is it short-term rentals? Is that kind of the a really good cash flow generator for you guys? Yeah.
Yes, yes. So when I got started with real estate investing, we pretty much only did long-term rentals, which were fabulous for growing our net worth. And we always made sure the numbers worked so that we were in the black. So we were
Mhm.
cash flowing a little bit, but it wasn't really a cash flow play. And then, as
Especially if they're
we've
in California, for crying out loud. My goodness, that
oh
would be
no,
tough to do. Take it out.
no, no, definitely not. And so, as I've evolved as an investor, we've wanted to balance more that net worth appreciation with cash flow, especially to give us our lifestyle goals, right? And so, so the short-term rentals are definitely the major cash flow play, and so they are more work, they are more reward in terms of that cash flow.
Very cool. So I know a lot of people have been having challenges with the short-term rentals because of rules and regulations and places clamping down. How is it in Myrtle Beach? Because California is not the most landlord-friendly state, as far as I understand.
No, Myrtle Beach has been fabulous. So Myrtle Beach is right on the border from South Carolina and North Carolina. South Carolina, I think, is a very investor-friendly state, and Myrtle Beach, as an area that depends on that tourism dollar to support their economy, they've been very friendly with short-term rentals. Now, one of ours is in the city of Myrtle Beach, and 2 of them are not. They're in the county, a little bit removed from Myrtle Beach proper. But all of them have been pretty easy in terms of regulation. And I do know, we had our very first property in Myrtle Beach we bought fall of 2019, September or August, I think we closed. And so then, of course, fast forward 6 months and it's COVID, right? And everything shut
Mm.
down. And Myrtle Beach opened up right at the beginning of May again. So they were shut down for a while where the only thing you could rent to was, medical personnel that might be in the hospitals. But it was really only for about 4 to 6 weeks. In the beginning of May, they opened up again because they figured people can be at the beach and,
So
distance and do
there's a
everything they
little bit of
needed
nail
there.
biting time there for a month and a half or so, I would imagine. Yeah, that was
Yes.
stressful times for everybody. Very, very interesting. So now give us a little snapshot of what life looks like for you and your family, the traveling side of things, what you guys are up to, and then we'll jump into how you how you leverage virtual assistants to help make all this happen. So what
Sure.
does life look like for you and your family these days?
What life looks like for the past 6 or 7 months now is we slow travel full time. So we decided, I've always loved to travel. My husband has as well. And we've traveled a lot with our kids who are ages 4, 6, and 8 right now.
Wow.
We were still tied to the school system, tied to, I was a real estate agent and doing that day to day, having a real estate team. And last fall, I decided to sell my real estate team. And that was really our last in-person obligation for work. And so then we decided, hey, let's just travel full time. So we've been doing that. We slow travel as a family of 5, going in and out of a new city every week or so would be pretty exhausting.
Oh,
So
nice. Yeah.
we try stay in, a city or a country for anywhere from 1 to 3 months to really enjoy it, get to know it, and we do, I still do some work for the real estate investing. I also have a virtual staffing business and the kids do homeschool. So we're not just on vacation all the time, but we went traveled to the US for a few months. So we went to Colombia for 3 months. Now we are in Mexico for 3 months. And it kind of looks like a mix of, working online for a few hours a day, kids doing their homeschool a few hours a day, then out enjoying whatever is in that area. So here in Puerto Vallarta, my 6-year-old has learned to surf. We all went
Oh,
swimming
nice.
with dolphins this past weekend. And then he's going to, on Friday, we're going to go to Sayulita, which is a new city for us. He's going to go surfing there. And then on Saturday, we're all going to go on a boat and go snorkeling. So fun
Nice,
stuff.
nice, nice, nice. If you have a chance for you and your husband to have a date night, do the rhythms of the night um, thing. That's highly recommend that. Actually, the kids would enjoy that too. So you, the whole gang can go. That's a good time. Awesome. Okay, now
Thank
let's
you.
talk a little bit about how you're employing and leveraging virtual assistants to help make all of this happen. So when did that kind of start entering your consciousness as a real estate investor? When did you clue in you needed some help and you decided to outsource? I'm assuming overseas, but I might be mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, and that's what I think that's a great question because it really touches on a big part of my story and why I'm so passionate about helping people with virtual assistants with leverage is because I didn't have it at first and it held me back. So I wish when I had started, somebody had been like, hey, think about this and here's how you do it. So we really, as an investor, I was starting off, I lived in Northern Virginia at the time, and Northern Virginia is an expensive market to for real estate investing and not really a cash flow place, a tough market for it. So I started out with renting my basement, and then we found this certain niche of like condos in the town near us that where the numbers worked well and we could self-manage because if we didn't self-manage, we'd be in the red. And
Mm.
so it was very much using sweat equity and personal labor. And a lot of people have to get started with that.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think I kept doing that longer than I had to because I didn't know about leveraging with other people and with virtual assistants. And so the real switch for me started in 2020, where as a real estate agent, I started working on a team that, rather than being a solo agent, I was now on a team and they divided up these jobs and they had virtual assistants and they had people doing these different pieces. And I saw that one, the job was getting done better than if I was just doing it all myself.
Yeah.
And two, it allowed me to stay in my top 20%, the things that I enjoyed. And three, because of that and various factors, it was a whole lot more profitable. And
Mm.
so seeing that on that real estate team, I was like, this is amazing. And, that my time on the team was short lived because we ended up relocating from Northern Virginia to Chattanooga, Tennessee. So I was on the team for a few months, but it was long enough to get that
It opened
really
your
important
eyes.
lesson.
Yeah.
Yes. And so then from there on out, I've always been like, okay, how can we use leverage? It's opened the door to long distance real estate investing because we don't have to be the boots on the ground ourselves. We have this concept of leveraging with the handyman, the cleaners, and then the virtual assistants as well. And so that was really the start of, oh my goodness, there's this amazing thing of leveraging with other people and with virtual assistants to help with work. And they can do anything on a computer or phone from anywhere in the world. And that really was the start of everything. It's what allowed me to grow my real estate business. It's what allowed us to grow our investment business. And got it to the point where we are using our money and our minds to make this happen and not our bodies, so our bodies can be anywhere in the world.
So maybe unwrap that for me a little bit, if you don't mind, Adrienne. So primarily, what are virtual assistants doing for you right now in your portfolio? What are their primary responsibilities and tasks?
Right. So I have two virtual assistants who work on my real estate investing portfolio. Both of them are part-time, and they have somewhat different roles. So one person, he does accounting. And so he's our bookkeeper. We have a lot of transactions between the short-term rentals and the long-term rentals and the hard money lending, and he keeps it all straight with QuickBooks. And so handles all of that. Pretty much my role, if we spend something, is forward him the receipt or take a copy of the receipt and say what it was for. Download the bank statements, give them to him so he can reconcile the account. And then once a month, kind of meeting to just kind of review everything, get any questions answered, and make sure we're on the same page and everything is correct.
Yeah, that's good.
That's one guy. The other person is like an executive assistant, and they do a little bit of everything. So, with the short-term rentals and with long-term rentals, and then also with this RV park where we do have people coming and going with their RVs, they're handling leases, right? Updating the leases, sending them for e-signature, client service, answering the phone. So we have like a dedicated virtual phone number that, it can ring to my phone. It can also ring to the virtual assistant. So if it's their shift, they answer, and then I'm only having to deal with calls on odd hours. So any kind of client service like that, answering questions. With the short-term rentals, there can be a lot of messages that come through. So they are answering those. We support them with like a Google Drive of resources and things like that, where we're having FAQs and where we're tracking things, but they're coordinating the cleaners, making sure the cleaners are going in, paying the cleaners, coordinating a monthly handyman check, and then that's just the short-term rentals. Then we've got the hard money lending. Again, most of that's on the bookkeeping side, but they can be doing things like researching properties. If somebody's putting in a hard money lending application, researching the property, pulling comps for us. For our long-term rentals with tenants going in and out, utilities, that's a big thing that I know myself and some real estate investor friends love. The virtual assistants can handle turning utilities on and off and making all those administrative phone calls that you don't want to have to make as an investor. That's not the top 20%.
Smart. Yeah, no, that's a lot of stuff that you've gotten off your plate. And I can see how that makes traveling the world that much easier. That's for sure. Very, very interesting, Adrienne. So now that you and the family are out gallivanting around the world, where do you see you taking your real estate investing business moving ahead? What uh, are you are you happy with where things are at with the size of the portfolio, or are you still interested in acquiring more properties? Where do you see yourself going in the next 6 to 12 months?
We are pretty happy with where it is now. I feel like, we kind of talked about evolution as a real estate investor. Another evolution I see people have is, you start off very active and then there's only so many hours in the day, or you get more of that, more funds. And so then you can have your money work for you and be a little more passive. So we've kind of reached that point where we've got the active portfolio, we have some passive investing. If anything, in the next 6 to 12 months, we've really enjoyed the hard money lending. That's worked really well for us. We tend to focus in the Chattanooga market. And it's just been so powerful because we have the connections there because we lived there for years and I was a real estate agent working with investors. So it's some past clients or other people in our network already. So it's not, it's worked out really well. So if anything, we may continue to ramp up that hard money lending because that's done really well.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, Adrienne, as we're wrapping things up, I understand that you also help other real estate investors and you're starting to help people get set up with their own VAs and whatnot. Maybe tell us a little bit about that and how people can connect with you and find out more.
Sure. So, I have kind of realized from other people telling me that my superpower is helping people with the systems that they need to support their goals, right? Like real estate investors have these great visions and it's awesome and they want to get somewhere. And I love how we have these big thinkers in real estate investing and they don't always know the systems to support it to really get that leverage to 10x, right? To make sure that we're continually improving how we're doing things and so that they get easier and more profitable. And so that's what I help with. And so people can reach out through my website, adriennegreen.com. It's ADRIENNEGREEN, just like the color.com. And there I have a tool. It's called the Freedom Blueprint, and it kind of helps people an inventory of is your portfolio doing great? Where do you maybe need to implement a system? So it walks you through that to kind of be a check. And I'm also working on a course that should be launching this fall here in 2024 to help real estate investors hire a virtual assistant, to walk them through what that looks like, to set them up for success. From my experience as an investor and in the real estate space, and also through our virtual staffing company, where I have seen dozens of entrepreneurs and investors get started with virtual assistants, seeing what works, what doesn't. So I'm going to pack up all those best tips into this course so that people can learn and really be successful from day one.
Awesome. Well, Adrienne, thank you very much, and enjoy your travels in Mexico and wherever you head off to next.
Thank you so much. This has been a pleasure.
All right, everybody, take care. We'll see you on the next episode. Hey there, I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewyou.com. Now at moneypartnerformula.com, we help real estate investors to create a process for predictably getting capital so they can do more deals without relying on hard money lenders or the banks. We do this by building them a private capital marketing system. Now, if you want help turning yourself into a big money capital attraction machine, then book a call with our team to see how we can help. Just visit moneypartnerformula.com to find out more. All right, take care, and we'll see you on the next interview.